What's going on, everybody? Welcome into top 4 for Medusan Madness. No, I am not playing in this matchup. We didn't make top 8, but it wouldn't be a Wyvern stream without dragons, and that is what Russell will be bringing to this stream. So we are commentating and spectating the top 4 matchup for Celtic versus Russell. So second month in a row, we are covering a top 4 matchup with Celtic. He's on a bit of a hot streak right now. Generally one of the better players, so not too surprising to see him back here. But Russell making both his first top 8 online appearance and top 4 online appearance. Really excited to commentate this one. We've got Russell running Alex Venator, who we will start to look at once we let them know the match is good to start, but we don't want to take up too much of their time. We have Celtic running Attu the Poison Field, who we did go up against. Gunn was running him in round 2, I believe. But definitely a different start than Gunn, so I would imagine a different deck and kind of a different strategy overall, but we'll let them know they're good to start, again, just so we don't take up too much of their time, and then we'll jump into what both of these warlords do. So we've got a timer here. Now, I will say take this with a grain of salt. This is my timer, not theirs. So if they pause the match to discuss rules for whatever reason, or if one of them needs to step out for a moment, the timer may pause, and we might not catch up with that right away. But we'll first look at Alex Venator. Zant Prime is subbing to the channel. We need more Durgans. Yes, we do. I'm excited for 5E. Commander Retsov already telling us we'll be getting some more dragons. Excited to see what those are. We'll take a look at Alex Venator first, since he has not been on stream so far this tournament. Coming in with a whopping 8 hit points. That is a lot for a Medusan Lord. Three pretty big swings, 23 AC. Level 11, he's a Free Kingdoms Barbarian, Druid, and Ranger, so he's got all of those traits. Subclasses rather. He is a Cleric and Fighter, may equip any number and class of familiars. I don't know Russell's deck, but I don't think that comes into play aside from the 2 he starts with. He begins the game with Aquila and Fenrir equipped, cannot be killed, stunned, or have his items destroyed by opposing card effects. That could be pretty big. Don't know exactly what Celtic is going to do, but note he can be spent by opposing card effects, just cannot be killed or stunned, or have his items destroyed, and then react. Once per turn after killing an opposing character, search your deck for an action card with the Barbarian, Druid, or Ranger trait printed in its text box and add it to your hand. And it is worth noting as well that he has a specific action to Alex Venator that he has in the deck. I'm sure we'll see that, so we'll read that when it comes up. So, since we've had a couple plays here, we'll come back to Alex's items. We'll look at Attu the Poison Field. You play cards ignoring class restrictions and loyalty penalties. Opposing players play with their hands revealed. You may play opposing characters' cards as if they were your own. So that's what we see here. He takes Blood God's Bassinet from Russell, equips it to himself. So we're going to see Russell go ahead and equip that Darkhide armor, so he can't take more than 1 wound per strike. But he's going to go ahead and equip that now, just so Celtic can't take that as well, and equip it to Attu. So going back to Alex Venator's items, note that Attu the Poison Field, he's good enough on his own. He doesn't have any items, actions, or characters. So Fenrir, he's a fighter familiar. This character does not spend to perform fighter action cards. So those 2 loyalties rewards in Alex's hand, he can play those just to order, draw 2 cards. React before fixing illegal ranks. Move this character forward up to 2 ranks, and that's what you're going to see here. He's going to... so Fire Fiends killed the Brother Domini, and then Russell will spend back Kundaville and correct ranks with that Fenrir to move Alex up. And then he has order once per turn. Spend Fenrir and target an action card in your discard pile with the Barbarian or Ranger trait printed in its text box. Return it to your hand. Aquila is this character does not spend to perform Cleric action cards, so Alex Venator does not spend to perform Cleric or Fighter action cards. So that's huge. Order once per turn to a +9 range strike. That's not anything too massive. I mean, it's solid. It'd be amazing on a Warlord. On a Medusan, it's just kind of an okay extra thing. But then he has order, spend Aquila and target an action card in your discard pile with the Druid trait printed in its text box. Return that card to your hand. So because Alex's signature action has the Barbarian, Druid, and Ranger traits printed in it, he can go search for it and then use both Aquila and Fenrir to get it back. So Alex Venator is going to be attacking here. We had Gilbert Bask, it seems like, make Attu a monster, so he was able to move him up with Trogid. but Alex Venator did kill that Trogid in the process, so he's going to go search for Cut a Path. Okay, so not his signature action. And that one is Spend Order. Again, for Alex, it's an order, so perform an attack without spending. That's already amazing. Move up to X characters you control forward 1 rank, where X is the number of strikes from the attack that hit. If this character is a ranger, you may move the characters backwards instead. Okay, so he just gets to order, perform an attack without spending, and then push guys back if he wants. Now, I know I said this deck has dragons. Doesn't seem like it from the get-go, but trust me, you see that Sithis Sutek King in his hand, so you know he's going to be getting some of those higher level characters out, and those are centered entirely around his action. He's going to swing at Gilbert Bask and get a 1, so that is not going to hit. In the meantime, I will see if I can get his action pulled up here on stream so you guys can see it, just to kind of know what we're looking at here. I think it's called Call of the Wild. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we will save that, and then we'll throw it into OBS, because that will totally determine how this match goes. Add image. Okay, so here is his action card. Call of the Wild. So this is the one he can go search. It is Cleric and Fighter only. Order, reveal the top 10 cards of your deck. You may put a character, 2 characters for Alex. I'm not going to read all 3 of those subclasses every single time they're mentioned. You may put 2 characters revealed into play adjacent to this character, even if it causes an illegal rank. Shuffle the remaining cards back into your deck. So he gets any characters regardless of class or level. Yeah, that's one you definitely don't want to get stolen by Atu, for sure. Good call, Zant. So that's probably why he went for Cut a Path instead of that one. But for Russell, that is going to be how he gets dragons into play adjacent to him. But yeah, that is entirely one that Atu can steal. He's the right level for it. And he is a druid, actually, so he falls into those traits. So that's going to be a downside for Alex in this matchup. Really good call by Zant there. So he's just going to probably have to focus on strikes coming out of Alex. He does have that attack buff with Draga in the discard pile. No, he doesn't. Draga adjacent. I'm sorry. You see Yidra's Tooth on Atu, so that's bad news for Alex, for sure. If he kills that Trogid to move Atu up, Atu can swing and take out Alex just in one swing. He's got plus 14, 15, 16, 17, plus 22 on Alex's... Oh, but he can't be killed. Can't be killed, yep. I noticed it right as you guys did. You noticed it before me, but it came through on chat. Yeah, okay. So he can't be killed, so that is big. He does still get the plus 5 attack from Yidra's Tooth. But good catch, guys. See, I ran in Draxon, I ran Ring of Resilience, so he can't be killed. But that's just a one of in the deck. Alex has it straight up printed on him, so that is definitely helpful for Russell in this matchup. Otherwise, Morty would have killed him outright game 1, match 1. Yeah, see, Zant, I was like, wow, how did you lose? Like, I know Alex is pretty good. And I admitted I did not consider dragons with him prior to this matchup. I saw Draxon just had tunnel vision, or sorry, prior to this tournament. But I saw Draxon, I had tunnel vision. I've really liked Draxon. I had the first 4 challenges against him when he was unveiled. I played Salazar all through 4E, so I really liked the Dragon Daemon combo. Didn't even consider dragons with Alex for a second, so hats off to Russell for making that work. But yeah, I didn't even consider the cannot be killed thing straight up printed on him. So it looks like he's going to play Cut a Path, so he'll do an attack without spending here. He can spend Fenrir to get that back as well. Hasn't played the 2 loyalties rewards yet, and neither has Celtic, largely because Celtic has to spend for them. Alex does not, but if Russell plays those, he gets more cards that Celtic can play. So this really becomes a mind game playing against Atu. I didn't like it. I don't know how I won. We saw Graham take down Melon Neko in round 1 of the top 8. So that was the other Atu that made the top 8. I think that was the only Medusan Lord that had duplicates. No, Dexton made it with duplicates as well. Midge and Slyfox. I don't think either of those hit, but honestly, I'm not going to do math. We'll just see if he puts a wound on Atu. So yeah, can't be killed. Can't suffer the more than one wound to strike with Dark-Hide armor. So Alex is in here for at least 8 wounds. He's a cleric. I don't know if he has any healing in this deck. Honestly, I know nothing about Russel's deck other than that he has dragons in here. Because it's Russel. Like, me and him, you know, like, one thing's for sure. We're going to play dragons. That's what we do. Order target a character in play. That character gains an attack and AC bonuses equal to this cleric's level. Interesting. So we got plus 13s to Atu. So he's going to swing and basically for sure put 3 wounds on Alex here. Try and take out the Draga instead, it looks like. He's got inheritance, so he can go find an item. Now remember, Atu plays cards without class restriction and loyalty penalty. That doesn't just include cards from his opponent's hand. So let's see what he's going to get here. That gift from above is interesting. I wonder if he also runs Mass Bless and Embolden. Again, I know nothing about Celtic's deck either. Other than that, Celtic is an amazing player, so I know it's a well-built deck. But he's going to get the Wormling Mail. Lets him move. Till end of turn, after melee or range strike targets this character, the attacking character's controller must discard a card or the strike is a critical failure. That's an interesting one from Atu because it kind of gets rid of some of his own ammo as well, but maybe his thought process there is if he's playing his opponent's cards, then they're either going to discard the few that they have left or have none left, and it's just going to be a critical failure since obviously he can move up with the Gilbert Bask double Trogid start. He doesn't need the movement from the Wormling Mail, but that is a pretty clever one for this Atu deck here. So yeah, he swung on the Draga in the middle for the inheritance and then put 2 wounds on Alex Venator. We see Fenrir get the Cut a Path back. So Alex can do another attack here. He has gone ahead and spent the Wormling Mail. So Russel will have to discard cards. Obviously that's no big problem with the Sithis since that's not one he's going to be able to play normally. We have to wonder if he's going to play these loyalties rewards here to draw more cards, or if he's going to risk giving Celtic more ammo. And likewise for if he's going to swing at Gilbert Bask. Now he already did search for an action, so he can't also go get Call of the Wild here. But with those plus 13s to Atu, he's sitting close to 40 AC, if not over. He's at, 39 alone, and then he's at plus... Yeah, he's at 46 AC, so there's absolutely no point on swinging at Atu. You need 20s to hit. You might as well take out that Gilbert Bask, and that is what Russell's going to do here. And that final strike, we'll see it go on Atu. Oh, he's not going to discard a card. Okay, so it's a critical failure. Temple of Lore comes into play, so that's one Celtic was holding. Now, this is definitely a different Atu build than what Gunn had. This is one where Celtic very clearly wants him to come up to the front and be the main guy beating down your opponent. Gunn had him sitting back and just playing as many cards from his opponent's hand as possible. So we do get Loyalty's Reward out of Alex. He'll probably draw at least 1 dragon here that he's not able to play, if I had to guess, just based on odds. Now we see Storm Chaser, but that's really unfortunate because Atu's just going to equip that Sir Tithan's Shield. Yep, so that's... if I'm Russell, I don't even play this Loyalty's Reward because then Celtic gets an action before you even can do anything with the cards in your hand. And just like that Storm Chaser, you're probably going to get something you're not able to play. And yep, you just gave a Tome of Divine Wisdom to Celtic and drew a Sithis that you can't play. So Russell definitely would have been better off not playing either of these Loyalty's Rewards. Surprised I didn't see any of the dungeon Shattered Spire in this event. I built for it. That is very interesting. If you had some of those guys that were sitting further back, didn't really matter if their stats were lower, but you play Shattered Spire to reduce the opposing ML, that's an interesting one. The Thing had it in his EL deck. Okay. It's basically dead card. Yeah, that's fair. But man, those 2 loyalties rewards might have cost Russell this game 1 matchup early on. Because we see Atu basically getting... He's untouchable at this point. Without the gift from above or Temple of Lore, he's at 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, 35... He's at 38 AC without Temple of Lore or any other action buffs. With plus 4 hit points, it's going to be tough for Russell to take him down here. So we don't see Call of the Wild from Eale here. Alex can go search for an item if he kills Temple of Lore, but it almost feels like this Celtic deck is 6-man, aside from the TOL. So we probably won't see many other characters that Alex can kill to go search for an item. Now that Embolden, if he can get it off, let's see. He did... Celtic won initiative. Okay. So Celtic... probably going to end up playing that Embolden, because that's really the only way Russell is going to be able to touch Atu this turn. Even then, it's going to be tough. So Celtic is going to steal that Avatar of Albrecht from Russell. But man, that's just what is so tough about going up against Atu, is he can take anything you have at level 13. He can equip it, he can play it, whatever have you. He has it. I feel like that didn't flow well, but whatever. So we do see that Embolden from Russell. It is just going to be plus 11s, so probably not... Even then, yeah, he's swinging at plus 13, so plus 24. Plus 28. So Shade Mephit. Now, let's see, is it draw or retrieve? No, it's draw 1 or more. Okay, so... Oh, Alex's react is draw. So Shade Mephit can react off of Alex's react. So even if he does kill the Temple of Lore, go search for an item, Celtic can use that Shade Mephit to go draw 2 cards himself. Mudslick. Both guys can play it, targeting the other. Honestly, it would have been really funny if Celtic played Mudslick to move Temple of Lore back a rank. I feel like that was maybe the play. Because he's going to defend here to keep TOL alive. But instead of Shade Mephit, he should have played Mudslick to move Temple of Lore back a rank. And that's basically game at that point. Because he's not going to touch Atu. When you need 20s to hit and he has like, what, fucking 35 hit points? 8, 9, yeah, 10 hit points at 40 plus AC. So he did successfully defend, and it looks like I think he got Temple on that last strike. Yep. So down goes Temple of Lore. Atu used Defend to counteract one of the strikes, but Russell gets even on the 2 that are going against the Temple. Now he is going to go search for Cut a Path once again, get... he can play that twice with Fenrir. Celtic can use Shade Mephit to go draw a couple more here, though. He's not going to. I don't remember if he... Or I don't know if he remembered to or not, but we're going to see that gift from above. So even with Temple of Lore going down, he's going to get that plus 14 attack and AC. Now he's plus... Shouldn't it be plus 15? Yeah, it should be plus 15 because of the Tome and the Temple. But regardless, he's bonus levels here now too. So he'll swing in, presumably on Alex, and all 3 of these will be hits. What happened? So it looks like he... Oh, so... Wait, I'm confused. Oh, so Russell played Mudslick on Atu. And Atu used Aura of Protection to cancel it. Got it. So now Celtic is going to swing. So that'll put 1 wound on Atu. Really, it's anything but a 1 hits here. I mean, it's got to be. Yeah, so Alex has, I mean, basically until the end of next turn. Not even the end. Like, he has until next turn to try and kill Atu, and I just don't see that happening. So he can Mudslick here. He'll get that back with Aquila. He can push back Atu, so he'll be stunned if he doesn't have anything to counteract it, but... Oh, he has Hand of Might. He'll just end it right here. And granted, Atu could have just played that Mudslick himself to move back Draga or something. But that looks like that is going to be game for Celtic. That was 3 swings. I think they're just doing math on that last one to make sure it hits, but with that plus 14, which in reality should be a plus 15, that'll probably do it. Yeah, game 2. All right. Celtic up 1-0. Now, I just want to say as well, hats off to Russell for making it to this point. Not to be mean or anything, but historically, since he joined, not one of the better players in the online tournaments, but made top 8 at Gen Con with Alisara, made top 8 in the Medusan Madness event, got a top 8 win and made it to top 4. So, I mean, just even if he does lose to Celtic here, congratulations. As somebody who hasn't made it past top 4, I've made it there twice. I know it feels amazing even to make it that far, especially your first time. He ran into a really bad matchup against Atu here, who can play his Call of the Wild, which is really what his deck entirely revolves around. Now let's see, Celtic did win initiative here. I almost wonder if he'll just take that Call of the Wild right now, just to screw Russell. Because if he doesn't, Russell might play it right here. That's the only way he's going to play the Dragons, is with that Call of the Wild. So if Atu takes that, he's basically shutting down Russell's game plan for this whole turn here. Now he can take the Tome of Champions. Hands of Faith is kind of fun when you don't spend for it. But we do see Celtic do exactly that. He's going to take that Call of the Wild. Atu's starting stats are really good, says Sant. They are amazing. 26 AC, 18 skill, 7 hit points. Amazing, even for a Medusan Lord. Now, 8 hit points for Alex is amazing. 23 AC, 15 skill is nothing too shabby, and starting with 2 familiars equipped is pretty good too. But yeah, Atu's 26 AC is insane. So, oh my gosh. So Celtic got Temple of Lore. He's going to be way back in rank 3. Now, eventually, Russell can chew through that army, but even then, Atu is probably going to be up front first. So Temple of Lore will be in rank 2. He'll only be able to hit it with Aquila, so he'll have to roll even 2 turns in a row to get through it then. Who ran Alex? I want to say it was someone in Missouri. Now, I didn't start playing Warlord until 2012, which was right when it was dying for the first time. So I only challenged Kars Bezgala, run by Jeremiah. God, he's in my playgroup, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name. We'll say he's JT. If you know JT, he ran Kars, and then Draxon, who was run by Matt Cotton. So I don't know who had basically any of the other Medusan Lords. I know, like, from word of mouth, that Vac had Orvac. Obviously, everybody knows that Nasser Al-Hate was run by John Zinzer, but outside of that, I really don't know who ran who. So that's kind of a fun strategy by Celtic as well with the Fire Fiends Gilbert Bask. He can ensure that there's a character in a discard pile, or rather in his discard pile. So he didn't remove the Fire Fiends there, but again, it ensures that he has a character in his discard pile even if your opponent doesn't kill one, to put the Gilbert Bask online and make Atu a monster, to go ahead and move him up with those Trogans. So Alex will move up with Fenrir just like last game, and then he'll use Aquila to kill a Gilbert Bask and go search for a Mudslick. I wonder what he's going to do with that here, because again, I mean, everything he gets, Atu can just play it, so it's really a game of 4D chess. Now, the nice thing with Draxen that really gave me the leg up against Atu was I could still play my dragons because they interplay adjacent to Draxen, and Atu, for the most part, couldn't. Now, Gun, I know game 2, you did get 3 of them out right at the end there with Invasion, and that was really fun to see. Fun because I didn't lose the matchup. Frustrating if I did lose that game. But the only way Alex is going to get his dragons into play is with Call of the Wild. And if Celtic can take that, that's going to shut him off. The fact that Draxen could still play his dragons, that's what gave me the leg up in that matchup. Yotaka Fish ran Alex. The thing, we're talking, like, I assume Zant meant, like, ML runner. If it was Yotaka, that's amazing, but I think Yotaka also ran him in this tournament is what you're meaning. I think Zant meant when Alex was a Medusan Lord that could be challenged, who ran him. So we see a Fiendish Plate and an Annals of Triumph. Zant, I'm pretty sure Alex didn't fall. I could be wrong. Again, my information is real spotty. I will actually see if I can find that right now. I think I have something saved. Oh, no, it's on Saga of the Storm. There's a ML archive on there. So let's find that. Shout out resources. I thought it was on here somewhere. Warlord History, Medusan Lords. Okay, so if you go to Resources, Medusan Lords. Alex Venator, he was run by Jeremiah Uselton. No recorded victor, was not defeated. Does anybody here know Jeremiah Uselton? I recognize that name, don't know who he was. But that was the runner. Shout out to Saga of the Storm for putting this together. Okay, we see the Hands of Faith hit discard pile. I don't know who played it, if anybody. Jeremiah Uselton's big name in Warlord. Like I said, I joined right towards the end of it. Didn't get involved with the online community until 2021. Didn't go to Gen Con for the first time until 2023. So I have a very localized view of Warlord. Was never on Temple of Lore. Passed away from cancer. Oh, that's really sad. Well, I guess good for him that Alex never went down. One with Sir Robert the Vigilant. Nice. Back in 2012. That's really the last time you've been, Zant? So, Russell gonna spend to get Mudslick back. He's got that Mudslick and Cut a Path still. I am so sorry, everybody. I just realized my camera is off. So, let me fix that here. My computer does this weird thing where whenever I close OBS, it decides it does not like the camera, and then I have to mess with, I have to unplug it and plug it back in. And then it usually likes to work. There we go. We're back, everybody. Sorry the camera was not there from the beginning. Because sometimes, like when I close OBS and reload it, it is still there. Other times it's not, and I have to plug it, or unplug it, plug it back in. So they were starting a little bit earlier than the announcement that I made for stream, and I just kind of hurried in and forgot to check that aspect. Zant, you jerk. Brine Fiend right as we get the camera back. Couldn't help it. I get that. I had the same thought, honestly. Okay, looks like Russell's going to play that cut a path. Atu's going to fall, which, I mean, makes sense. You definitely want that Temple of Lore to stay in rank 2. Russell's going to swing in here, I guess on the Trogid? Because he didn't give Atu a chance to roll stealth with the Annals. And maybe that's why we don't see any wounds going on here, because Russell didn't give Celtic a chance to roll stealth. Annals give stealth, right? Yeah. So Atu's at 8 hit points right now, 23 skill. All of his checks are anything but a 1. So I'm guessing that's what happened, and that's what this pause here is for, because Russell rolled high enough, presumably to hit. Cut a path, that was the second swing. It was a plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17... So 35, that would have hit Atu. Definitely would have hit Trogid, so... Not sure why they didn't put a wound on Atu there. A little bit confused, but regardless, Celtic is going to play Divine Guidance. He'll discard an Innocence to go ahead and ready Atu here. Okay, looks like Russell's going to move Draga up, I think, is what happened there. Now, Atu not as beefy this time around as last game. He does have... No, the Annals doesn't give power attack. Why did they give a book, like, you have almost every feat, but not all of them? So Alex is going to swing. Looks like Celtic is going to stealth. I just assume that's what's happening without being in their voice chat. But we see Alex tap down and Russell roll here. See a roll from Celtic, so that's what I assume the stealth is. Not thrives from never meant to equip the book. Hey, Atu is a mercenary, and he is shredded. So that was probably a riposte check there then. So he canceled it with the stealth. He's going to go ahead and riposte, and that will likely hit. Second swing going in on Atu. Or maybe that was the last one. I really don't know what the order of operations is here. Celtic gonna swing now. That will hit Atu for sure. Or, sorry, that will hit Alex. That one should hit as well. That one's going on Brother Domini. Okay. And last swing, that will take down a Draga. So Celtic trying to isolate Alex up here. He knows without his buffs, he's not going to be able to hit Atu long term. Because we do see 6 attack going off the field there by taking down the Brother Domini and the Draga. Now Alex is going to spend the Fenrir to get Cut a Path back. He's going to swing in, but only with a +5 to his attack. Sorry, +6 with the Draga in the discard pile. So +19. Going on Atu's 29, 30, 30. Okay, so this can hit. Oh, he has Temple of Lore, so probably not going to hit. That's a 30 on Atu's 30 before Temple of Lore, giving him an additional +13. Yeah, Alex does have a +9. Looks like it missed. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier on. He needs to hit with the +9 2 turns in a row, and that's just a luxury he doesn't have. That's why game 1, I thought it would have been a really good call for Celtic to move Temple of Lore back. Temple of Lore did end up dying, but Celtic did end up winning, so wasn't consequential in that matchup. But now here we see Temple of Lore in the second rank is pretty much just going to win Celtic this game. 2 dragons and a Dragon Lord out of Alex. So again, that's just... Sorry, not 2 dragons. Sithis isn't a dragon. But he's a level 6 that Alex intends to play with Call of the Wild. And that is just absolutely brutal here. Even if Alex was able to get Karak into play, he'd be able to play his dragons. But anytime he goes to get Call of the Wild, Atsu's just going to play it first. The only way Alex would have been able to play Call of the Wild this entire matchup was by getting it in his opening hand and winning initiative, which he was not able to do round 1 this turn. And Celtic is going to take Silverwind. No? Maybe? I don't know. No, okay. Celtic is going to take Avatar of Neas, and Russel will equip Silverwind before Alex Atu. When you have 2 Medusan Lords that have an A name, it gets hard. So Celtic will take Avatar of Neas. Russel will take Silverwind before Celtic can. So we do see Aquila hit for 1 wound on Temple of Lore, but Celtic's going to go ahead and swing in. It's going to put a wound on Alex, and I imagine... Sorry, 2 wounds. That's right, because he has Bracers of Ogre Power equipped now. Alex does not have Darkhide armor, so Celtic can go ahead and finish this game here. And it looks like that's going to do it. So Celtic takes it 2-0 against Russel. We'll go ahead and hop into chat with them. See if they have anything to discuss about the matchup. So... My bad, guys. I forgot he has the Tome equipped, so he is not dead quite yet. We'll go ahead and stick around it here, but yeah, there's the Hand of Might from Celtic, so that will probably go ahead and finish it. And that'll do it with the Temple of Lore. So a little bit preemptive on awarding Celtic that victory, but he got there either way. Hey, congrats Celtic on the victory. Russell, that was a really tough matchup for you. Anytime, I mean, your deck functions around Call of the Wild, and anytime you get it, Celtic can just steal it. So that made it a pretty much nightmare matchup for you. But Celtic, congrats on the victory. Exactly, that's the thing. You needed to get it in your hand and win initiative. And if you could have got Karak out, you could have played your dragons, but... We see the double loyalties reward game 1, only helping Celtic there, and then, for sure.
Just only went from bad to worse. So, you know, it worked out.
Celtic, question for you, game 1. Why didn't you use Russell's Mudslick to move Temple of Lore back to rank 2? Because we saw Russell able to take down the Temple with melee strikes. You got the victory anyways, but that would have sealed it for you much earlier.
Well, because even though Russell pointed it out, I forgot a second later that I was a druid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed that right away when he got the...
Well, the druid, though, now the thing with Mudslick is that it's a spend order. So I don't spend play it, but everyone else does.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for those watching on stream. I didn't have their audio right away. Thank you for catching that, Zan. But yeah, no, the spend is that makes sense.
Yeah, that was the beauty, is that I had that one Mudslick in this deck, and I never ever would have guessed. I don't think I've ever even read Fiendish Plate. Maybe I have once. I don't know. But the fact that it can't be moved backward was just crazy. That was a game changer. I feel like I could have had that match too, because I got the Mudslick in my starting hand.
Sure.
Which was really helpful, you know?
Yeah, and then you're able to recur it with Aquila.
Yep. But it doesn't help when he can't be moved backward.
And even like game one, I mean, I only won it because I had the Hand of Might in my hand. Because otherwise, I had one more action before you just kept me stunned all game long.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
your
yeah,
stats
I mean,
were through
those-
the roof.
those
You
were
would have
close.
needed to roll 20s to hit you. That's the thing.
Well, it's until if I could keep him stunned,
Oh, I
and
suppose.
you know, and then if I draw, well, yeah. So see, the thing is though, so like, action one, I lose initiative. He gets my Mass Bless when I draw it. So I'd be screwed. I would have to, even if I could keep him stunned the whole game, he would still. I would have to win initiative, or else it just wouldn't even help me because
Sure.
I couldn't get the stat boost in order to even hit him. But yeah, once he is stunned, that would have been great because I could just use my own cards because he couldn't. So
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And then also, it's like when we start a game, he has like it takes 2 actions for me to become a monster. Which I mean, if I don't draw any movement, which I don't have a lot of in the deck, if I can't get those 2 actions, I'm probably gonna like stun.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like a matter of he has to win initiative, move to the front, and then try to break my ranks. But then again, it's like if then I'll just steal his hand, and
Right.
he won't be able to play it.
yeah, that's a really well built deck. It's like anytime you're playing Atu, you know, it's just such a mind game.
It is.
try-
Yeah, it's horrible.
try to even
have
figure out
play
your cards.
against.
Yeah, it's crazy. And at first I was like, oh, poor Atu doesn't get an item, but then I'm like, wait, never mind.
Mhm.
He's still easily one of the best, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And why he's 13th level, I don't really know, but it's
I
Great.
think Zant noted his stats are through the roof. I think it's one of those things where, like you said, Russell, he doesn't have an item, even though his ability is amazing. Let's face it, most Medusan Lords abilities are amazing, so they just kind of buffed his stats a little bit extra since he doesn't have an item. So 26 AC, 7 hit points, like those are both crazy, even for Medusan Lords. I think that 13th level falls right into that as well.
And even
Yeah.
18 skill. It's like
Yeah.
18 skill's great.
You mean 33 skill, or whatever it is with Temple.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
31.
31. Plus he gets 5 from Annals of Triumph.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a wild deck. Atu is crazy. When I was looking at Medusans to build a deck, Alex was the first, and then I just never had time to go back and try building any other decks. But I still felt good about Alex because, you know, unlike most of the Medusans, I felt like I could wrap my head around what Alex does. You know, what the strategy is.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
and the rest of them, I'm like, I don't even know what I would do with that. Like if I, okay, but I have no, I'm like, I'd be like a kid in a candy store trying to build that deck because I would have no idea what I want to do with it.
Which one was that? You cut out for a second.
Oh, Master K.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Gracchus Master K was crazy. Like he just probably can't beat like Dexton, but anyone else is.
well,
Yeah.
actually, you know, I had a plan for if I went up against Gracchus, and it revolved around this card right here. Because I would just really have to get it is the thing, and I have to get it fast. But I could move him out of the front rank, and then he's not a problem. You know, killing him
Oh.
doesn't really work because Gracchus can just break, you know, can just sever the flesh. But Mudslick would have been perfect for his hero guy, for his what's his name? I forget his name.
Sir Joffrey
Relian.
Drac.
Oh yeah, Joffrey. Yeah.
He, if he has it, he can intuition to use Joffrey Drac before you get another action. But in both my games against him, he did not have that when he got Joffrey Drac.
Intuition. Yeah, didn't think of that. But yeah, no, this has been a wild tournament.
It has.
I can hardly believe I made it to the top 4. This is the farthest I've ever been in a Warlord tournament in my life since 2001, since I was playing in them.
No, I mean,
it's been a
congrats
blast.
for
Congrats
making
on
it this
that.
far.
Yeah, thanks. And I guess it's particularly fitting that I chose to curse us all with this Medusan Lord tournament. So, and managed to be in it, one of the longest players. So I guess that's fitting, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Celtic, good luck in the championship. We'll go ahead and wrap up the stream here. I see Xantus the only one chatting, and usually whenever he's put in the giveaway, we'll just add his thing to the horde. So we'll save the stuff for now. We'll add that to a later giveaway. I don't think I will be able to cover the other top 4 matchup or the championship. Excuse me. I'm not going to say if I can or can't either way. But for me, this will probably be it for the Medusan Madness tournament. But be sure to keep those notifications on just in case it isn't. Otherwise, we will see you guys in November for what I believe is still an unannounced tournament.